Welcome back to the D-Pad.
Hey.
I'm your host,
Hey.
John Seelig.
I'm Rick.
These are some other guys. It's fine. We're going to talk to you today about the top 10 worst Zelda games.
Yeah.
In our opinion.
Yeah.
On the C-pad.
Which is fact.
A couple
They didn't wait
quick
for me to finish.
a couple quick caveats right at the beginning. One, congratulations to the D-Pad as well. So aside from today being 2 years since we rebooted with our Zelda thing today, we also either today or tomorrow are hitting 1/3 of a million views.
Wow.
All time on our
Third
channel.
of a million.
333,333.
0.333333333.
Yeah, one guy was just like,
Bar.
They held the mouse button down on play, but they never let go.
Yeah.
So we'll
Never
count
let
it
go
as
that
a
guy.
third.
So, what did we all gather here today to talk about?
We're talking about the
Rick?
10 worst Zelda games.
I already said that.
And there are some honorable mentions that we should do right off the bat that didn't actually fit onto either list.
Okay.
So the first one up here,
How is there more than one?
because
Final Fantasy
Is it
6.
because of me?
no. Well, so what happens is instant run instant run out voting has a lot of weird quirks about it, and we
so there were a few
judge
doubles?
sort of, yeah. We judged the best from best to worst, and we judged the worst from worst to best. So just based on that, if there's something that gets a lot of really high votes and a lot of really low votes, it could theoretically come up on both lists.
Okay, so that's what. Yeah.
So it's a little bit weird,
So
but
there's doubles.
yeah. Spoiler. Surprisingly middle, like the middliest one of them all, 13 on both the best and worst lists is Ocarina of Time 3D.
What you mean 11?
No, 13. It was the 13th best voted and 13th worst voted.
Was Ocarina of Time 3D?
It was Ocarina of Time 3D.
What, we're starting at 13?
This is
I
honorable
don't-
mentions. Brief honorable mentions here.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So yeah, it's because it was like Ocarina, but kind of just felt like a weird, wrong version of Ocarina.
yeah.
What was 12?
The 12th best and 14th worst was Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Weirdly far
You
down.
loved
but
that game when it came out, too.
I really did. I still stand by it, but it is undeniably flawed.
It is undeniably unfinished.
Yeah.
I had that in my
Nintendo, I
fifth
would have waited
worst
as
game.
long
Yeah.
as you wanted me to.
I did
That's
not
it.
like Skyward.
Where was
That's it,
Hyrule
yeah.
Field? Where was the rest of Skyworld?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
And
a
really,
demo.
that's basically it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
like a
they
demo.
spent so much time on the overworld
There was
that
clearly a lot missing.
I didn't understand why the three
And it
areas
never
weren't
felt like it
connected.
got deep.
So you're
and-
saying that
yeah.
did not show up on the 10 worst games?
Nope.
Huh.
It was the 12th best and 14th worst.
All right.
Okay.
The fact that they had so much trouble. I'm gonna move this thing again.
Yep.
The fact they had so much trouble getting that one done is the reason I'm glad they're taking their time with Zelda U. I would rather wait years longer if it means they're gonna have a full, complete, good
like,
game.
If I want to
Yeah.
play a Zelda game, I'll play one of the 21 that are already out.
yeah.
The last honorable mention is number 11 on both lists, the 11th best and 11th worst, which is the Minish Cap, which I actually kind of figured would come higher on the list.
Yeah, I voted it pretty high.
Yeah, it's good. It's just so many games that are better.
It isn't very memorable. You know,
It is
it's
easily
a solid
it's
game.
the best Vati game for sure
That's like
out of
saying
2 Vati games.
of 3.
two of which are abominable.
Okay, Four Swords Adventures I still count as a Ganon game.
I mean, it's both, but yeah.
Spoilers.
Right.
No, we already filmed that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I like
Didn't that
Vati as
only
a
have,
villain.
like,
It
6
added a lot
temples?
to that character. What's that?
Didn't that only have like 6 temples too, though?
Minish Cap was
I
pretty short,
forget.
it
was
felt
like it had either 6 or 8. I forget.
I don't think it had 8.
Which.
All right, so those were the sort of like
that's our
Unless maybe you
purgatory
count the
games,
castle as
yeah,
if
like
you
8.
will.
So
Not quite good enough and not that bad.
Is Battle Quest get an honorable mention? Just for-
no, it's gonna show up. It's
Oh,
gonna
well,
show
I'll
up.
talk about why I think it's an honorable mention.
Ooh.
So like I said, instant run of voting. The more controversially loved and hated something is, the more likely it is to show up in 2 places, and that is why our 10th worst game is Majora's Mask.
Hey, all right. Let's
I
talk
really,
about all the reasons we hate Majora's Mask.
I really skewed the average there,
a
huh?
little bit, a little
Wow.
bit.
Wow.
But no, that's if you voted it more middlingly, and I think Dustin voted it high or Ian voted it high. Oh, Ian voted it high. No, actually, Ian didn't. Dustin did.
The entire water chunk of that game is the problem.
Yeah, that's a really rough patch. There's a lot. There's a lot to be desired there.
The snow area is like, okay. The water chunk is not that good. It's just
Basically, everyone just likes Stone Tower Temple.
Stone Tower Temple's
Stone
great.
Temple Tower.
I actually like the beginning of the game quite a bit.
The Stone Tower Temple pilots.
The concept is solid. The execution was okay. The problem is that there's not enough stuff to do, like, out of town.
Or something. I'm still not convinced. I don't know.
I don't know. I would have loved to see more time-based events outside of Clocktown. There's so little that actually gives a shit about time outside of town.
It was purely vibe for me on that game. And
Really?
I really, being timed like that makes me really stressed out. So I feel like that made me dislike that game even more also. Like, even though there's plenty of time, like actual time,
Yeah, it's
like that pressure
about
is
an hour
like
and a half,
too
I
much
think,
for
something
me.
like that.
It's like way too
Yeah.
much for me.
But yeah, it's so close to being amazing, but I just feel like, no. Anyway, we
So,
talked about it.
all right.
I don't know. I put it
so
at
now
4
for
on
the-
my best list.
For
Majora's
now for the
Mask.
I put it
Way
I
to
put
go,
it on my
Ben.
I put it ninth best. Now for the 10 people who are left who haven't stormed off in anger at that. Our number 9 worst Zelda game is Nintendo Land Battle Quest.
I don't even
If you
know
were
what that
pissed
is.
off enough to leave before, you will be now.
I think
I
this
I don't
is
think
a fine
that really
game.
counts.
I
as
think
a
it's
Zelda
a
game.
I put it as my number 11. I think that it's a fine game, but it's really hard to gauge it as a Zelda game.
I don't even know what it is.
We shouldn't have included it. Like, we played it as a joke part of the mega Let's Play.
we played it
The
because
Mega
Rick
Let's
was
Play, yeah, that's the
freaking
one.
out
Yeah.
about the schedule.
Yeah.
He was like, "We have 9 days before
Yeah,
A
we
Link
had-
Between
we
Worlds
had-
comes out."
We had this weird 2-week
and I was
gap,
like,
and
"Well,
the-
man,
and-
there's like 9 levels of Battle
Yeah.
Quest. Let's just fucking do
No,
that."
it was
I
a
love
good
your
idea, man.
impressions of you. It's really good.
It's very accurate, though.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
accurate. I went
amazed.
right back to that time.
Amaze.
Battle Quest is number 8 on my best list,
Whoa.
and number 3 on my worst list.
CJ.
You just
CJ is
fucking
the
that
only person who
curve,
did
yeah.
this, and
I'm the only
honestly,
person
had
who
I
did
thought
that.
about it, I might have actually done something
Yeah.
similar.
Here's the thing. Well,
Not with Battle Quest, but in general.
I'm thinking about it this way. It was a lot of fun playing it with you guys.
Yes.
As
my God.
as grueling as it was,
The broken controllers
I had to
actually made it way
reflect
more
it
fun.
off of the
A guitar.
it was
into
fucking
the-
fun. I enjoyed every second of it. You know, despite how much we yelled at each other.
And it was like
and-
3 a.m.
and
Yeah.
how many hours
Oh
it
my
took us
God,
to
that was
actually
all in
beat
one
it.
night.
It was really good. You know, like
Can you put up that picture of us all?
Yes. There was
in
a
the
picture
studio?
of us. I'll put it. It'll float up here maybe or something.
Haggard.
I don't know where we are on the
now.
Everyone but me.
Conversely,
screen. We'll put it over your face.
I've also
Here's the
played
picture.
Battle Quest with just 2 people.
Yeah. I've tried it with
sucks.
one. It's really hard
Yeah,
by yourself.
I wouldn't even want to try it. With
Holy
just one.
shit.
Yeah, like that.
'Cause you're
like,
just
you
the
have
archer
to
at
play that
that.
game with 4 people, pretty much.
There's too many
Like,
enemies otherwise.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I mean, it's hard as shit anyway. We haven't even tried the Master Quest part of it.
oh boy.
Or
Oh
whatever
my
it's
god,
called.
that's awful.
And even like if we did try the Master Quest, we would probably have to replay the first 9 levels to get good again.
Just to get decent. I mean, yeah.
in order
Yeah,
to play
probably.
the Master
All
Quest.
right. So Battle
Um,
Quest is cool. It's good and it's bad and it's not a Zelda game.
Yeah, exactly.
Next.
All right. Number 8 of our worst games, The Adventure of Link on the NES.
Yeah.
So I find it interesting that Majora's Mask was our 8th best and 10th worst, and The Adventure of Link was our 10th best and 8th worst.
All right, easy numbers.
They're just opposite placings.
Yeah.
Placements.
I'm-
Placemings.
I'm guessing what
I'm
happened
intimidated
here
by
is,
people who are
is
good at numbers.
the negative aspects of it just not really feeling like a Zelda game
Yeah.
and the general difficulty of it. It was a pretty cruel game. Like, if you fuck up, you're going back to the beginning of the game.
That's true.
Yeah. And it just doesn't feel like a Zelda game. It feels more like a Castlevania game.
Yeah, that
you
makes
know?
sense.
And the text is also still translated poorly.
I will admit, it's grown on me a lot having played it again, recently with the channel. But like, 'cause it's for some reason that one gets a really popular opinion of just being a terrible, awful Zelda game, and it's really not.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
I
It's
think
just
it
not
was-
really Zelda.
I think it was a little ahead of its time.
I would agree.
That's
It's
how I-
really hard
that's how I
to
feel, yeah.
understand the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I honestly didn't really get them until we did it as a Let's Play.
yeah.
And then, like, me
It
and Rick
feels like
played it.
Shovel Knight. We
And
played
then I
Shovel Knight
actually went
not
back
long
after me and Rick played it, and I played it by myself on my 3DS,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot just easier time because I used to never even be able to beat the first dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's a
felt
hard
like
game.
I felt like that was a game I wish that they revisited and reused some of the elements of that game at least one more time in another game with
They were-
like the level up.
They were gonna try.
Kind of have with Skyward Sword.
The Oracle games,
At
that
least
were gonna
with
be
the
3
ability
and
to,
2 is gonna get remade.
you know, you have to overhead swing or underhand with the blocking.
yeah,
Okay, but
That's revisited.
that was
mean
one thing I
more of the,
loved
like,
about
but
Skyward
just
Sword,
recently.
I
Actually.
meant more like the more RPG elements, like gaining experience.
Oh,
to
yeah, yeah,
power
okay.
up
I see what you're
abilities
saying.
and
Yeah,
stuff
that would
like
be cool.
And, like,
it wasn't that hard. I did the whole thing without the lens of truth. It was fine.
You didn't do it at all. You
Actually-
weren't even there for half of it.
Actually, there is a lens of truth in that game, John,
There is.
Yeah,
and you
I
can't beat
didn't
the
get
game
it.
without it.
So boom.
No, because you were too busy watching Nine Inch Nails
Without CJ.
in New York without CJ, even though you just saw Nine Inch Nails with CJ.
He abandoned you.
No, it wasn't Nine Inch Nails at all. It was Tool.
It was Nin Garden, wasn't it?
No, it was Ninja. Was it that old?
No, it's not that long.
No.
ago.
Who
We'll
were
see you next time.
seeing?
Moving on. This one it was in a very tight range for everyone. It was for 5 of us. It was the 4th to 7th worst game.
I can't even follow that.
All right.
Thank you.
We all voted at number 4 to number 7.
You
I
better-
voted-
You better have a diagram.
I need
Except
a
for
visual
one.
representation.
It's Oracle of Ages.
Uh.
The only person who didn't vote that low is this guy.
Yeah.
Wait, what number?
Number
Ben likes
7.
the Oracle games.
That's
Oracle
my
games.
number
Oracle-
7. This is the only one that I got right. I feel like I got bingo.
right. Yeah, the Oracle games, I had my top 10, both of them. I love those games.
Huh.
I think that might be because they were very similar to Link's Awakening, and I really like that game.
See,
And that's maybe not a great reason to have them in the top 10, but I just
Yeah.
I really
they were-
enjoyed playing them.
They were
That's
a lot
like-
like Link's Awakening with just no
I
heart
do-
or character.
that is. Oh no! Don't even say
I
that.
actually had a much harder time with
I
my
also,
worst 10 than my top 10
Yeah,
because I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to say that any of these. I mean, some of them I wanted to say
Some
were
of them
bad.
were really excited
my,
about.
my worst 5 were a lot easier than my worst 10.
Yeah.
I also I got
Yeah.
to play the Oracle games, just me and Rick, for a lot of episodes.
That's true.
And that
Oh,
was
that's
actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. See,
That was
everyone
like
has fun when it's just them and me.
I actually that was kind of the first time that was just you and I hanging out like ever. I
That's
think.
true. I don't think we'd ever just been
Yeah.
me and you just
Yeah.
chilling before,
Yeah.
But,
and now we
they were
have.
great
And
episodes.
now they're married.
Yeah,
We should do it. We should do a series that's just me and Ben because like,
Yeah, that's
go.
never
that doesn't
happened.
exist.
We should do like
Yeah, I
a
think so.
D-pad.
I've got my own affair with
D-pad
Dustin
dates.
going on the side with the 90-minute nails thing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the Toe Jam and Earl.
D-pad dates. There we go. CJ and Ben will get
This
something
is like
there.
Game of Thrones. Everyone's
A
just
little
trying to
bit,
get
yeah.
together and stab each other in the
One
back.
D-pad
My
next to another
my biggest problem with
D-pad.
Oracle of Ages and I guess Oracle of Seasons 2 is that they felt so much like Link's Awakening, but they didn't capture the same feeling for me. Like Link's Awakening was just such a solid, everything was coherent, and it just one sort of voice, and the Oracle games didn't feel that way for me.
I don't
But how many
like
boxing kangaroos did Link's Awakening have?
Exactly the number it needed.
asking
Link's
the
Awakening
tough
actually
questions.
Link's Awakening did actually have one. It had Blano, who was supposed
You're
to be
right.
a kangaroo,
That
despite
is-
the fact that he does not look like a kangaroo.
He's a little
I-
shrimpy little.
He's a
bird.
ball with 2 boxing gloves,
Asking
Yeah.
the tough
but he's
questions.
Blano the
Yeah,
kangaroo.
See,
Yeah.
getting a real discussion going here.
I like them, but I don't feel like I can play either one without playing the other one.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to play 2 Zelda games.
I probably pay.
I'll just play all of them.
Well,
instead.
I'll play all of them, but I won't play just
I
2.
did play them a lot. I definitely played because you got to play them. Not only do you have to play one then the other, then you got to go back and play that one and then the other one as well, so you can get both
Right.
double story things.
And you don't even really need the Begoran sword in either game, but
No,
you feel like you
no.
have to get it because it's the Begoran sword.
exactly. I hunted down every secret in the. In
I
those
wish you could
games.
use the giant's knife after it breaks with one hand.
Yeah, just use it
An
as a
Ocarina
little
of time.
shrimpy
Use it as a
sword.
knife.
Yeah,
An actual
Just
knife.
go
It's
around
not-
shanking
He
deacon
just wants to
It'll be
spread some
hilarious.
butter on his
just
toast.
because it's broken doesn't make it not a knife anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, I
just then it's
can't
not
use this.
sharp.
Oh my god. All right, number 6, similar to the last one, very tight range. Everyone voted this number 3 to 6. So a little further down.
Oracle of Seasons?
Oracle of Seasons.
Okay, well, all right. I mean, same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Same idea.
Which mechanic was better, the Ages mechanic or the Seasons
Ages.
mechanic? It was they made for a better game.
Seasons gave you more variability, but it also meant you had to like be very careful about how you're moving from area to area, and
And
they
I can-
reset
yeah.
as you went to
Seasons
new areas.
was almost too much variability.
yeah.
it's
See,
tedious.
Seasons was the game that I bought myself, like when they came out,
Yeah.
because I could only afford one. So like I loved Seasons, and Ages I don't really know
That's
that
fair.
much
I
about.
liked Subrosia. Subrosia was fine.
Yeah,
that was a
Subrosia
fine
was
part of
cool,
it.
yeah.
But the seasons on the surface
was fun too.
Yeah,
It was
Tokyo
fun.
Island's
We were
pretty
like,
cool.
I'm not gonna bother getting half that shit back. Fuck it.
Have any of you read the Zelda D20 guide at all? Or
No.
anything?
What?
No.
There's a D20.
Is there
Oh,
one?
yeah,
I've
there
been.
is.
I've wanted to make one of those
It came out
forever.
probably recently after these games because there's Tokay in it and there's Subrosians in it,
Damn it!
but they don't have
Oh my God, we're gonna have to make a
Rito
Zelda
or
D20
anything
night.
from like.
It's
Oh no,
happening.
they do have Rito, I think, but they don't have.
Gorons.
Yeah,
All right.
they have everything.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know.
I gotta look into this.
Yeah.
They have everything up
This
until
is
the
happening,
Oracle
guys.
games.
I'm a huge tabletop role playing game nerd. So.
If we put this together, we won't. But we'll
We
film us
will.
all playing it.
We will.
And
oh,
it'll
that'll
be fun.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you
Cool's
guys.
not the word, Ben, but it'll be.
Enjoyable for us.
I'll send
Yeah.
you guys the zip file.
That'll be really
but
enjoyable.
nobody at home cares about that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do. But
Uh,
All right.
Wow,
so
any
Any
Oracles.
closing
closing
thought?
thought?
Oh yeah,
That's really
the
exciting.
final area of the Oracle's games was pretty cool, but it's difficult to gauge those for the games
Or
individually.
what was his name? Orox? Orlok?
Onox
Onox?
slash
He fucking-
Nox when
he
they
sucked.
misspell it a couple spots.
He's just awful.
Onox was kind of boring.
And the
Varen
chick
was at
too, yeah,
least
she's
slightly
terrible.
better, but
She's
still
got
kinda
boobs.
boring.
He's like, I'm Girl Vati.
She's got Proto Man's hair.
no, if anything,
I'm aroused.
Varen looks a little bit like what the fuck's her name from Hyrule Warriors? Sia.
Sia.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
I
Sia's
know what you
hat.
get. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of
Her Sia's boobs.
yeah.
Mostly
The
just the
important
boobs.
part.
You know what? Thank you, Hyrule Warriors. That's why you were rated so high on our best list. Because you had tits in a Zelda game.
Blatant sexual content.
And not just like.
And I
put
like
him in
tits.
there.
no, her
They
hand
were,
running
like,
up her thigh
focused.
and
That
doing one of
was-
these, and you're just like,
Yeah.
well, I'm in a room
Graphic.
with 6 dudes, so this got
But
weird.
that's what
felt
I
like I
remember
did
from
something
Dynasty
wrong.
Warriors. Even like the dudes, like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Does
uh,
he run his hand up his thigh real
yeah,
slow,
yeah,
like
yeah.
bow?
Zhang. She.
You're just
Zang
being- You're just
and
being
his
racist.
wang.
He had claws. He had claws, and he was very feminine. I guess he's actually gay, but they don't tell you that outright in the game. But he is gay. But that's fine. I like gay people.
He likes them a lot.
Nobody was questioning it until you said, I like gay people.
Now we're all like, does he actually like gay people, or is that
I
just
was
like,
saying
they're
CJ
cool.
likes gay
You
people.
know, I have a lot of gay friends.
Uh,
They're gamers. Gamers.
Hey! All right.
all right,
Hashtag.
let's move on. Let's move on. Our number 5 worst game. All of these were voted 7th worst or worse. This was Four Swords Anniversary Edition.
Fuck that game.
Now that one was
That's it?
that was the one from
Yeah.
what's that?
That's all I got. There's 6.
6? What?
We're on 6, right? No, we're on 5.
Yeah, we're on 5.
Still, that's all I got. It's 5. 5. Continue.
I don't know.
What? What do you mean?
Did
He
you have
wants
it at
more
the worst?
presents.
Worse, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Four Swords Anniversary Edition. That was the handheld version, the one that got re-released on the DS, the 3DS, or whatever the hell.
I didn't think it was that awful.
I didn't think it was that awful either. I made that
was
my
the
7th
least
worst.
amount of fun I've
What was
ever
worse
had in
than
a
that?
Let's put it this
multiplayer
way.
game.
What was worse than that
the
game,
next,
though?
The next game up on the scale for me is The Adventure of Link. So I really don't think that poorly of Four Swords,
Yeah,
but
I don't know why you hated it so much.
it wasn't fun. It was for people not really playing together.
it was a very competitive
It was
game.
competitive, but like
Yeah.
not in like a real way.
Okay, Nintendo,
Yeah,
if you
it
want
was
to make a
bitchy
competitive game,
It wasn't like
don't
skill
restrict
competitive.
4 people to one screen. You
Yeah.
can't
No,
compete.
they don't. Anniversary Edition, you go on from your own.
Is that the one?
Okay.
Four Swords
Well,
Adventures,
I
you're
did
locked
rate
on
that
one
higher
screen.
than Adventures.
But like we can all play Smash and not want to beat each other to death, but I can't play that game and not
Actually,
want to fucking
no.
crush
I mean,
your
that's the
skull.
The
purpose
whole
of the
point
game.
of Smash.
Like literally,
No,
that's
but I don't
No,
like.
like
I
the
play
real
Smash,
life, like,
and I don't want to
transition.
kill
Is this
you,
why
Rick
he doesn't win
Desolets.
those games much?
Hey, Ben and I exactly tied the last time we played, and it was a hard one tie. I gotta go, you guys. You really mean.
But yeah, no. I think Four Swords Anniversary Edition was okay. It was an add-on to the portable port of A Link to the Past way back in the
It
day.
was cute.
I didn't have a horrible
Yeah,
time,
but-
except for maybe a couple of the maps were
The
frustrating.
the
but-
Link's Awakening based map was shit, and that was just because we forgot that you could clink swords together to make a spark.
Yeah, there's like a couple bullshit
Oh.
Yeah.
moments.
Oh,
but,
they,
like,
yeah, they don't really give you much. Maybe I'm getting
Yeah.
confused with Adventures, but like they don't really like tell you how to play with other people, but you can't play it
Yeah.
alone.
So I
And
guess I
without
bet.
it being like it's even worse if you play it alone.
Yeah.
I guess I bet I know what the next game is. Isn't it?
Yeah. Number 4 on the list was Four Swords Adventures.
Bullshit. That's the worst game.
That
That is the worst game.
You're probably right in retrospect.
Voted that higher than worst game?
I gave it 6th worst.
I had it at 7th,
Mine were 3 and 4.
I think.
Let me look at the others real quick.
Mine were 1 and 2 for the both of
Nice.
those.
Yeah. CJ's right, as usual.
Let's see. So Ian gave it 5th worst, and Dustin did not vote for it at all. Dustin did a weird thing where he voted for his 9 favorite and his worst. So
Because fuck whatever Rick tells him.
Well, I mean,
I guess.
well, Ian didn't play like hardly any of the games, and Dustin
No,
yeah, but he
played
watched
very
them
few
all.
of them.
Yeah.
And he's played them in other contexts. So yeah, I mean,
That's
I don't know
true.
what else there is to say. Like again, it's a cooperative, competitive game. It's stupid.
I like the story.
I honestly don't remember which one was which.
I kind of like the
They're very-
the
it's-
levels.
The difficulty
horror
curve
but-
is all over the place.
Yeah.
They almost give you no context of how to solve any puzzle.
Yep. Lots of backtracking. Just shitloads of backtracking.
yeah, that can
Oh,
be
is it fucking
frustrating.
Kakariko Village? We literally spent like 5 episodes on.
No, it was
making
one
no
episode,
progress.
but it was like a 2-hour episode.
1 2-hour
Oh,
episode.
jeez.
You're locked on a screen together, except if you go in caves and buildings, which is fine. But like doing that means you can't. One person can't go off and get bombs. All of you have to go back so that John can pick up bombs
yeah,
instead of Pegasus
That's
boots.
right. That
Like,
one was more frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just both really frustrating, and they're like such a pain in the ass to set up too.
I'll admit
Like,
too, the
Not
look of it.
worth the effort. Not worth buying 4 GameCubes.
The look of it was nice at the time, but in hindsight, looking at it now, it looks really sloppily put
Not
together.
worth buying
right.
4 GameCubes. Can we tell the story
Yeah.
about how Rick bought 4 GameCubes and we only ended up using 1?
So normally, yeah, I had this crazy scheme that we were going. So normally play with
This
a
would've been
GameCube
really
and
cool
4
if it
Game Boy
worked.
Advances.
It would have been nice.
And we were gonna use a Wii instead of a GameCube. No real difference there, except it has an output that was a little easier for us to record from. And then we were gonna put it to 4 GameCubes with Game Boy adapters on the bottom, so they'd act as Game Boy Advances, but we could run those into video captures. But somewhere along the line, I neglected to realize that by doing it that way, we would need like 5 TVs and 5 laptops to record, and
And
it
he
blew
realized
up.
that after buying 4 GameCubes,
Yeah.
4 Game Boy Advances,
On the plus
which also
side-
was unnecessary, and 4 Hot Pockets.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the plus side, we now have
4 Hot
5
Pockets?
Hot Podges. So if one of them breaks,
I would fucking
we get
love some
backup.
4 Hot Pockets right now.
I haven't had a Hot
And,
Pocket in years. All right, so
Oh.
3.
we're now up to our final 3, the 3 worst Zelda games, and it should be noted, all 3 of these games showed up in every single person's bottom 3. Bottom 5. So the
Yeah, I
bottom
was gonna
5 for all of us contained all 3 of the final games here. So there's a clear line between 3 and 4. Like,
Right.
we were at least
Yeah.
a little forgiving with 4 Swords and with the Oracle games, but there's like no forgiveness from this point on.
I'm curious.
The number 3 worst game, I think I was the nicest person to this game. I thought I was being harsh. Clearly I was not. Majora's Mask 3D.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't
It's
rank that one.
You didn't
that's
rank
why.
that one at all.
It's-
I didn't play it.
Neither did Dustin, because he didn't put that one in there either.
It
But
sucked a lot of the fun and the charm out of the original. It added things that didn't need to be there,
eyeballs.
like eyes on the bosses or stupid swim controls.
no, granted,
or-
the extra sections of the boss battles were actually kind of neat. The eyes looked silly, but I think Georg was better. I think Twin Mold was
Jorg didn't seem better
probably
to me,
better.
but maybe it was just because I was frustrated. Twin Mold was probably better.
Goat was
I
not.
have
Adol was a
no
wash.
idea what you guys are talking about.
The bosses
Check it
are all.
out. They changed
oh
all the
man,
bosses.
all the bosses have giant blobby eye weak points.
Yeah.
And, like, it's cool that
stupid,
they-
obvious weak
I liked
points,
Ocarina
like-
of Time 3D so much.
Yep. And they didn't do anything to that
And
because it was not
They
necessary.
didn't add
so.
anything except fishing, which I get. Like, cool, it's a nice
Fishing
little touch,
and
but they
you
didn't
can-
add anything
cares?
new.
You can warp to any hour, which is nice.
It's
Excuse me.
convenient.
And you now have like a set of here's the missions you've started, which is weirdly out of place in a Zelda game, but it's not that bad.
But I kind of figured they would
The Bomber's
shore
Notebook,
up.
right?
What's that?
It's just
They-
It's another part of the
reworked.
Bomber's Notebook
Oh.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of figured they would shore up a lot of the weaknesses with the original and a lot of the holes and things that felt unfinished about
And while
the
it
original.
did-
and it didn't really do much for that for me.
While it did, it also So here's the thing: for those of you who aren't aware of how Majora's Mask's production went, after Ocarina of Time came out,
Somebody got high and watched Groundhog Day.
yeah.
Starring
Well,
Bill
no,
Murray.
Miyamoto was like, "All right, guys, you should get started on your next Zelda game. Go." And I want to say it was, oh my god, I forgot his name. Not Iwata.
Aonuma?
Aonuma was like, wait, actually, the guys have an idea for this other thing. We can use the same engine and everything. And he's like, if you can do it in 1 year, go for it. And they're like, okay.
He
and they
looked at his
did.
watch.
Yeah, he's got
Which runs on years.
It's a
According
really
to my wrist, you have
the
1
hand
year.
moves like real slow. But yeah,
Yeah.
in just over a year, they completed Majora's Mask, and it definitely shows. If you really look at
Yeah.
Majora's Mask, you can see the seams basically.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask 3D, they started working on similar to the its predecessor, right after Ocarina 3D was done. They took 3 years on this one.
It boggles my
And-
mind.
Well, I think part of the team was probably
Did
also
what?
working on.
A Link Between
A Link Between
Worlds,
Worlds,
at
yeah.
least some of it, but like 3 years is
a
still
lot more time.
way more time, and like
To do
it's
what?
not really noticeably better. Like
no,
really,
that's the thing.
it didn't have a Master
Is
Quest,
it
which
they
was my
needed-
biggest.
If I were going to go back and
black
play it
mark
again, I
on
would
it.
play the N64 version on an N64.
Did
Yeah.
they really need that much time though, or did they just need the new 3DS because the old 3DS couldn't?
Couldn't do it. Oh,
I
maybe.
mean,
do it.
well, no, but the old 3DS does do it. We
Oh,
played
so
it
it
on the
does?
regular 3DS.
Yeah, we
The
did.
new 3DS, the
Good
only
point.
real addition, as far as I know, is that the little nub acts as a free moving.
And actually, we
camera.
found the camera was fucking unforgivable.
small version in America.
They're
Yeah,
going to
that's
probably.
bullshit. I hope so.
No, they won't.
No, I
probably
read an
won't.
article. They might.
Yeah, they might.
Oh, he read an article, guys. It's
Okay,
fine.
you're right. I
They're
read the
not gonna
title of
make
an article.
any
but
money
still.
off of it. Like Nintendo doesn't make any money off of anything anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like it doesn't seem. I feel a little disappointed and betrayed that after 15 years since Majora's Mask and 3 years of development, it just doesn't improve in any really meaningful way.
And I would love for you guys to comment and explain, because everyone seems to be psyched about it, and I just don't get
Here's
why.
my question though: the same problem you guys had with regular Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Is it just because you were playing it in a Let's Play format? Would you have enjoyed it a lot more if you were just playing it on your own time by yourself?
Yes.
Well, I
But-
mean, not
No,
anymore.
things like the
than-
boss mechanics being ruined, and
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
you know, like, and
I would
the controls are still unforgivable. The camera's still whack.
I would say yes in the same way as Majora's Mask. The same
Yeah.
problems there would have translated forward. However, my problem has more to do with the fact that the 3D version isn't better.
Would it have been
I didn't
better
want
if
a
you had
port, I
played it
wanted
on
a-
a new 3DS with a second
No.
thumbstick?
It
Wouldn't have made a
camera.
difference. It would have been the difference between, giving it a 35% and a 36%. Like the
Okay.
littlest. It would have been nice, but it wouldn't have changed my mind on the game.
So Majora's Mask 3D is much like Josh Trank's Fantastic Four.
Maybe.
It might
Maybe.
it
be
is the
broke,
third.
but don't fix it.
Yeah. Oh God, that's
Wise
that's
words.
that's a
Wise
conversation
words
for
from
another
TJ
day.
Haley. Next.
Our number 2 worst, and I'm a little curious of how our number 1 and 2 wound up getting in order, but we'll talk about that as we go. Our number 2 worst Zelda game is Phantom Hourglass on the DS.
Really? So I don't know what number one is then.
Lord.
I know. Well, I know.
I voted this one as my worst. This was my number 1
Really?
worst.
No, I think you're an idiot. The other one's clearly way worse.
The
No.
Phantom Hourglass. My big problem is it is the most obvious. We don't know what the fuck we're doing for the DS
Phantom.
game.
That was like just like here's this piece of hardware with like some touch screen gimmicks.
Yeah.
We got to use all of them in this game, and like that was the only direction that they had for making the game. Everything
actually-
else like followed that.
I
Yeah.
actually had that game. This really happened. I had that game, and my microphone on my 3DS was broken,
Yeah.
and I couldn't go and I couldn't do anything.
That
Like,
was
one
us
of the early
later on too.
one of the early dungeons requires you use the microphone to like yell into it.
Well, multiple points in the game
Yeah.
require you to blow.
and
into
mine
the
just like
microphone.
didn't work ever. And
So that's it.
I couldn't
And
play
that's
the
the
game.
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Um,
that's just really.
And then John's just screaming literally at his DS.
Phantom
That's
Hourglass.
actually what I ended up doing in the Let's Play when I was
Yeah.
playing. It's like gently blow on the scream.
Yeah.
That's what did it.
Yeah.
What makes this such a fucking low game on here, aside from obvious shit like the controls terrible, the story really
Boring.
shitty,
Repetition.
the repetition was horrific. But what the
You gotta
biggest
keep
sin of
going.
all, so Phantom Hourglass, our number 2 worst. Our number 2 best was the Wind Waker HD, and Phantom Hourglass as a direct sequel sucked the soul out of.
Although,
that
what was his
world.
name? That one character is
Lineback.
awesome.
Lineback was
is awesome.
Lineback was fantastic. The only
So one
only
cool
worthwhile
character.
element of that entire game,
So ask yourselves when you go to bed tonight, what would Lineback do?
right? I would love to see Lineback return in some way.
Or let's fuck it, the Legend of Lineback.
He'd play
Let's-
the next game on our
do it.
list,
Yeah.
which I
The final,
did not think was worse than Phantom Hourglass. I
the-
thought Phantom Hourglass was worse.
the number 1 worst,
Final game is
the
going-
worst Zelda game in our opinion,
is fucking Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks, really?
Spirit
Like
Tracks.
worse
Oh,
than
it's
Phantom
horrible.
Hourglass?
No, see, I'm with you. I called Phantom Hourglass worse because Spirit Tracks did improve
It
on a lot of the
improved on
stuff.
all the faults that Phantom Hourglass
However, and I know this is the reason that you guys made it worse.
It's all
on
the
your list.
bad things
The
of
fucking
Yeah.
train.
It's
Yeah.
all the bad parts of Phantom Hourglass with really, really, really boring interludes between
It's
so
every
boring
part of the game.
and
Go
unfair
back.
because you can just get stuck.
Go
in the,
watch
like,
our second.
trains.
Go watch our
Yes.
second to last Spirit Tracks
is
video.
my biggest complaint about the game and the reason I stopped playing it, but I don't think it's worse than Phantom
Our
Hourglass.
second to last Spirit Tracks video. Go back and watch it. Me and John, I think we're playing basically by ourselves, and
yeah,
That was
no
the
one-
day we were like, we need to end this fucking game.
Yeah.
We played for like 12 hours straight just to end it.
and
no
it
one else
took
would come
us
play with
no lie to get from one end of the map to the other, like the world map. It took 6 minutes
Yeah.
to get from one place to another. And it's a path you have to take. There's no faster way
Well,
to
yeah,
get there.
but I mean, it's kind of fun if you're playing on your own. If you're trying to rush through it just to finish a Let's Play, it's got to be annoying
I
as
mean,
fuck.
well, no, because when I see, hey, I've done that dungeon, I've done the last thing, and I've doing all the stuff. It's all right. Final area is there. I'm like, I want to go there. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to sit there and go 5 minutes of, oh, turn right.
Well, aren't you fighting other trains to hold it?
Not if
You don't fight
not
'em,
if
you
you
just-
turn properly.
You avoid them.
Yeah.
Super
The
fun.
No, and the
controls were-
train thing was like, we're talking about the train thing like it's a respectable idea. It's not. It's not okay. Haunted
was a
face
really
trains.
bad
The
idea.
final boss is like an angry face that is attached to a train. It's so stupid. Don't even dignify it.
No, but the temples were cool. The items were cool.
I don't understand why.
However, Nintendo, if you ever put another part of a
John's
Zelda,
unabashed hate of this game is amazing.
Nintendo, if you add another one-hit game over mechanic to another
Yeah.
Zelda game,
Yeah.
you will go bankrupt. Everyone's
that.
rumoring it, and I know
Now-
you have fucking money in the bank and you're
There
not
are-
gonna go bankrupt. But
there
God damn
are-
it, I will do everything in my power to make sure if you put a one-hit kill thing in a Zelda
I will
game,
say there are 2 things that I do like,
which is the trains.
completely
Yeah.
like about
The
Spirit
shame
Tracks.
of this game.
No, there are 2 things that I like about this game. One, the bosses are good. For the most part. Not the final boss, but I thought that the bosses in
Yeah.
this and
I
Phantom
thought the
Hourglass
dungeons
were
were
very
good too,
creative.
right?
I thought the bosses were real cool. The dungeons were actually a lot of fun for those as well.
Yeah.
The rest of the game doesn't hold
I
up
think you
nearly
get-
as well, but
I
the
think that
dungeons
you're
and
just
bosses
too
are
jaded
good.
against the trains. They
2,
had the Rabbit Rescue Land, man.
We didn't even. I don't think we even stopped there during our Let's Play. However, the other thing, and arguably, I think this is what made it beat Phantom Hourglass for me. This thing on its own.
This is tragic.
Spirit Tracks has like without a doubt, the best iteration of Zelda / Fairy Companion of
Yeah.
every single game.
What,
It sucks
Zelda?
that she's
Without a
trapped-
doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
The
yeah.
Ghost Zelda is both the best iteration of Zelda,
Wow.
like maybe Tetra, but Tetra
Spunky.
turns into like
This like
dainty
da-
princess halfway through, so it ruins it.
It was
Fuck that
popular
shit.
enough to include into Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Ghost Zelda is the best Zelda and the
Spunky
best
and
fairy
independent.
companion. She's fun, she's independent, she snarks at you, and she's not
I don't
like
know. I kind of like
yelling at you every 4
I kinda like
seconds. And she
Tattle.
turns into a fucking giant pink Armos Knight.
Tattle's.
That's awesome.
Tattle's
Yeah.
a bitch.
Yeah,
Tattle
Tattle's
does
a
that
bitch.
too once you get to know her.
But like in a good way. Like
later on.
I wouldn't mind if Beyonce like said a bunch of shitty things to me.
Fair enough.
Sure.
But yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, Beyonce is really the best fairy companion. Anyway,
Nintendo. I'm not gonna say anything else.
just put your
Think
royalties
about
right
it.
here.
Think about it.
No. Just think about it.
I just think it's
don't need
ridiculous.
royalties
It's
for that.
like
Yeah.
it's like you can picture Spirit Tracks being the direct result. So Phantom Hourglass was a direct result of a meeting where like you have to use the DS hardware,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Well, you made Phantom Hourglass." Then there was another meeting like, "Now you have to do something original."
And they well,
And they're
no.
like, "Trains?
yeah.
We haven't done
they
trains
had,
before,
they
right?
The
clearly
Legend of
had-
Zelda? Trains? That's what it should be called."
It's the same engine.
Think
It's the
about how
same.
popular steampunk was in that weird like 5 year span.
So they should have made it steampunk. Instead, it's just a normal Zelda game with bad controls with
And
this
a train.
half-ass train thing tacked on.
Well, all the
and
horses
also
drowned.
a monster.
It's a
all the horses
fractured.
drowned, dude. They need something to get across.
It's a
land.
fractured world. The same way Skyward Sword is a fractured world. You can only go to certain places on their own.
That was a big
Phantom
compli-
Hourglass and
I-
Spirit Tracks.
I
same
will
thing.
admit, I bought the game assuming that I could get out of the train and traverse
Yeah,
the
and
overworld
why
on foot.
couldn't you? Like Phantom Hourglass at least had an excuse. It's the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
But for Spirit Tracks, it's land. You go exploring. in other areas and you have a sword and weapons and you see almost no enemies on the field. So why can't you just go and fucking walk places?
It was bad.
I think
it's a very close.
what I would love to see happen, and I know it'll never happen, but it's just a dream in my heart. Someday, years from now, they're going to remake Wind Waker again. It's going to happen 10, 15, 20 years from now, whatever.
Okay.
When that comes around, I would love it if they also remade Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks using that same Wind Waker engine and just transforming it from that weird tappy top-down thing.
I think they would have to remake the game entirely and just
yeah.
And they wouldn't do it.
I don't think they would do it, but I
It's
think
a nice
that would be
dream,
the
though.
only way to make those games
I would like
bearable.
to play those games restructured as
A game.
good
Actual Zelda games.
Yeah. I said
Even
about a lot
remake
of
them with the
games.
Link Between Worlds engine.
I think really the
There's
Yeah,
probably
that'd be
some good story in there, but I just
Honestly,
couldn't give a shit
no,
about it.
the story is
the
awful.
worst
No, all
part
right,
is
well, I
just the
don't
touch.
Oh my God,
controls.
Spirit Tracks has the little train people, the little people with wheel feet.
I'm telling you.
Forgot entirely about that.
Anjan.
The Legend of Zelda.
Anjan.
Trains. It's fucking asinine. It's
I'm a train man.
yeah. And they're like, yeah, this passes
I
quality
think
control.
they'd even be better if they controlled like regular Zelda games, though.
Yeah.
I think that you're trying to incorporate two completely new concepts like steamboat travel and train travel with touch-based controls.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to walk. I gotta hold the side of the screen.
Spirit Tracks is how we discovered our 3DS microphone is broken. By the way, that exact problem John was talking about in his childhood with Phantom Hourglass happened to us with Spirit Tracks. Watch any of the times we had to use the pan flute, and you'll see me going... and like...
Well, that's probably what the problem was. You was just like spitting into it and
It was-
blowing.
You blow too hard.
Yeah.
I guess.
I've heard that about you.
It was pretty bad. It
No,
had,
I don't.
like,
I still don't think that's your 3DS. I think that's the game because I had the same problem with my 3DS.
Why could there
playing
not
that
be a
game.
button alternative? Why cannot
yeah.
A just be
Also
toot?
that whole
Nintendo
thing.
Land did it with the
Okay.
Donkey Kong
Actually,
game.
song.
I didn't even mind them trying to push the touch controls so much
game.
as them trying to push the mic.
Was
Yeah,
it?
that was stupid too.
I didn't mind them trying to push the touch controls as much as them trying to push the microphone.
Yeah, I don't
wouldn't
even mind
mind,
that.
like-
Just a button
It's like
alternative,
DK's
man.
Conga beat.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, this would be a great Donkey
In-
Kong game if I didn't have to drum my whole way through.
In
it.
Nintendo Land, for the
Someone
Donkey
beat
Kong
Dark
mini
Souls
game,
with that controller.
there's little platforms
That's
that have
epic.
little fans on them, and you can raise them by blowing into the mic. But you can also press, I think, X, and it just like raises it on its
Yeah.
own too. Like, there's no
Like-
reason to not have a button as a fallback.
It was just awkward to hold and do that, and then you'd have to
And like, are you playing this on the subway on your way to work?
Wait, you can
Yeah,
play
right.
other games with the bongos?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can
Donkey
you have to, like,
Konga
hack
and
it up.
Taiko Drum
Can we-
Master?
Can we beat Wind Waker with the bongos?
We probably could. We have to.
If we
wire it up a
remap
certain
the,
way,
yeah, maybe.
Let's do it.
I would do that.
You can speed run that shit.
I'm the big
82
resident
hours.
bongo player, as you can see
I
if you've
would
seen our
Thunderball.
seriously Thunderball.
That was him on bongos.
Yes, it was.
Him on the guitar. I was singer. He was on Maracaronis.
Yeah, I played the macaroni.
It was a box of macaroni.
Yep.
You couldn't tell.
But it was a maraca too.
It sounded great. I
it
played
did
the shit
sound
out of
good.
that macaroni.
We're getting a little off topic.
Yeah.
Trains are
Watch
fucking
our other
stupid.
videos.
No. Trains are cool. Trains like forcibly mashed into a Zelda game. Not so great.
No. Or trains mashably forced
You
into
remember why I
other
hated
trains
Charge
was also
Man in
bad.
Mega Man 5?
Yeah.
Because he's just a racist depiction of what people think trains are.
Is Spirit Track just a full game of that?
Yeah, it's just all that. It's all that. It's
Fucking
every
trains at the
generalization
end.
people make about Thomas the Tank Engine.
The trains right before the final boss are amazing bullshit. You have to basically pick up a Mario Superstar, kill other trains, and then the last one becomes like a mega train.
Can you
that
even
hunts you
believe
rockets
that?
down.
I don't want to hear it.
It was so bad.
This sounds fantastic, actually.
It was
I haven't played
terrible.
the end
It
of the
was
game.
terrible.
I haven't watched the video.
All
There
right.
aren't enough drugs in the world. Anyway,
Yes, there are.
That was our list of the top 10 worst Zelda games, and we'd love to
Yeah.
hear what you think about your top 10 worst Zelda
Yeah,
games.
feel
Yeah.
free to tell
us why we're wrong. Defend your games.
Yeah.
Oh, so we did go over all the games, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We
did
went
all
over
of them.
Minish Cap, which
Minish Cap fell into the cracks in between.
Fell into the crap.
Ocarina of I was
it
not
gets
expecting
small.
Ocarina 3D to fall into the cracks. I figured it'd go one way or the other, and it amazingly went three steps down from both directions. But
Yeah. Well, I think it had the same problem. It didn't improve anything, and it didn't, it wasn't as revolutionary. So it
Yeah.
kind of fell in. But anyway, this was great. I really like you. I really like you.
eh,
I really like you.
You're all right.
whatever.
I don't like anybody.
D-pad out.